about the work that the penalty kill did
Yeah,
tonight.
well, they played a huge part in this one. I think the timing and the way they work together has been really good the whole playoffs. But tonight they really had to step up. We put ourselves in a really tough spot by taking so many penalties, and there was some questionable calls. But in the end, we put ourselves in a tough spot where they might call that. So it's one of those games where they just have to step up and play really well. And but sooner or later, when you take that many penalties, something bad is going to happen. And that shot hit their guy in the slot there. So, but overall, we played really well. 5-on-5, we played a really strong game again. And it's going to come down to some bounces. You have to be really, really sharp. Try to stay focused and the way they play, they try to throw pucks in the crease and have some deflections there or go for rebounds, and that's the way the game's been played, and it's going to be played like that. I think the battles in front of both nets going to decide this.
Henrik, can you describe the emotions when Marty's shot goes in overtime?
Oh, that's a good feeling. We're here a couple of days ago. Same situation going into overtime, and you try not to think too much, but it's hard. It's an important game, and you try to be focused. And I had a feeling going into the overtime. Okay, let's not take another penalty, and that's what we do right away. So we have to step up big there on the PK and get the job done, and that was huge. And then I think after that, it gave us some confidence for sure. Feeling when he scores, it's a big relief, and it's exciting at the same time to get the job done at home. A win is a win, but the experience to win an OT at home is always a great feeling.
Do you remember the sequence in the third period over here, Henrik? Do you remember the sequence in the third period when they were prepping you pretty good? Vanek had an opportunity there, and they had an opportunity. Remember that little sequence?
Well, they had a few chances. Obviously, I got a little lucky there. He hit my stick and then the crossbar. I wasn't sure if I got enough of the shot, but again, they have some skilled players. They're going to make some plays, and that time I had that little extra luck. But it's been some weird goals. If you look at the last couple of games, we're hitting guys or some weird bounces, but that's the way it goes. It's a quick game, and they create a lot by coming in guys in front and throwing pucks around. So they're going to probably keep getting those bounces. But in the third, it felt tough when they scored on the power play there. It felt like 5-on-5 we were playing so well, but again, we put ourselves in a pretty tough spot by taking all those penalties.
You did get an assist tonight. How did it feel to help out on the offensive end?
Well, I didn't do much on that, but what feels good, I think the last actually in the entire playoffs, we talked a lot about me playing the puck more and help the D out, and I think that part has been really good. They I think feel more and more comfortable with me playing the puck, and we know where to go and where to place the puck, and so I don't know. I should not take too much credit on that assist, but just the actual play worked out well where Danny went to the side and I knew he was there, kind of faked him on reverse, but again, the play around the net is something I worked on a lot this year. We spent a lot more time in practice to work on it for me with a lot of different plays, so something I definitely had to improve. So if it's good.
Henrik, going back to breakup day last year, when you said you felt the team took a step backwards from being 2 games away from the finals, 1 game away from the finals now, what's the mindset going to Montreal?
Probably not thinking that you're 1 game away. You just have to keep the same mindset that you had for the first 4 or 5 games, and then in the last series, you don't change anything. You don't think about what's ahead. You just go in and try to do your job here. It's going to be a tough game. You know, they're coming, they're building, and I look forward to that challenge. But it's exciting to know that you're one game away. I mean, you have to motivate yourself to get to a level where you're helping the team, and that's a pretty good motivation right there.
I guess you earned a bit of a personal milestone tonight with the win. I think you tied Mike Richter for most playoff wins in franchise history. I realize there's a couple of moving wheels going on right now, but you know, in the context of the franchise, what does that mean for you to sort of hold that place in history?
Well, it's always a proud feeling. I didn't know that, but it's always a proud feeling when you're up there with those guys. You know, there's so many great goaltenders that play for this organization. And earlier this year, I beat a couple of records, and you know, it means a lot to me.